Hey everyone, my name's Spath and welcome to Hytale Spotlight. In this video we will be discussing one of the most highly anticipated moddable features of Hytale, world generation. Before we begin, let me introduce you to another member of the content team, Cece, who will be joining me today.
Hey everybody, it's nice to be here. I'm going to start off by giving a brief overview of what we know about Hytale's world generation so far. Now, before we get too deep into this, I want to point out that everything we're about to talk about can be completely changed through modding and server management. As Hypixel Studios explained in their blog post, every aspect of Hytale is customizable, from damage values to animations, models, weather, combat mechanics, and more. Our ambition is to empower our community to make entire new worlds for themselves. With that said, let's talk about the default biomes we know about. There are 4 known zones in Hytale's planet Orbis: the Emerald Grove, Howling Sands, Borea, and the Devasted Lands.
Zone 1, also known as the Emerald Grove, is the starting zone for all new players. A lush green landscape accompanied by several forests, lakes and caves. The Emerald Grove is home to a variety of species including Quebecs, who can ally themselves with the players, an as yet unnamed scaly humanoid guy that lives in the swamp, and Trox, which are elite monsters that can employ several unique tactics to take down the players.
Once you progress past the Emerald Grove, you reach the Howling Sands. This is a giant expanse of, you guessed it, desert. As you wander through the scorching sands, you may stumble across military outposts, or perhaps the ill-fated desert temples, supposedly inhabited by a swarm of bugs called Scaraks.
The third zone, Borea, promises an Arctic-like climate, and players will need to beware of the frost giants, ice dragons, and the outlanders, who live in Borea's corrupted zone. Players may also meet the Fawns, a tribe of hunters who ally themselves with wolves. Whether or not the Fawns will be allies or foes remains to be seen. We also might speculate that Hytale could even incorporate things like hypothermia, heat exhaustion, and thirst in the different climates of each zone to make things a little more interesting for players rather than having a one-size-fits-all on armor and other items.
Finally, Zone 4, or the Devasted Lands, is a volcanic wasteland, much like the Nether in Minecraft. Don't let the lava flow trick you, though. Below the surface lies a tropical forest full of Slothians and dinosaurs. It's unclear as of yet exactly how free the player will be to move about these zones in story mode, but it seems extremely likely that freedom of movement would be a priority. Hytale takes so much inspiration from games like Minecraft, it would be hard to imagine them limiting how players can take on their challenges.
But Orbis is not limited to just 4 zones. In addition to the 2 unannounced zones, Hytale's world generation will also feature an endgame biome or sub-zone known as the Deep Ocean. Well-prepared explorers will brave the deep waters to discover hidden treasures. And with the mention of treasures, you know they will have something lurking in the depths wanting to chomp on any wannabe pirates looking to loot the hidden booty below. We do know that we will see sharks and the Kraken, but who knows what else might be ready for a quick, easy meal of players in those deep waters.
That's not all. For those not satisfied with the 6 zones, nor the challenge offered by the Deep Ocean, the Hytale Infinite World Generation will ensure that there is always something to satisfy the eager explorer. Each of the zones offers unique NPCs, mobs, and dungeons. You won't find a desert traveler NPC in Borea, or a volcanic-themed dungeon in the Emerald Grove.
At the time of this video, Hytale has 3,785 custom prefabs spread across the different zones. The prefabs aren't limited to environmental features, but can also range from buildings to ruins to special encounters. Some may even offer unique challenges, objectives, or even nice loot. Currently, the developers have released a little information on one of the main prefabs, dungeons. Dungeons have several different pathways leading to a final boss room and should present a substantial challenge. To entice any would-be adventurers, the World Team has designed special rewards for conquering those dungeons. Everybody loves some sweet loot, and I don't know about you, but I want that flaming sword from the trailer.
On the other hand, Portal Dungeons offer a vastly different set of challenges. With limitations such as which blocks you can break, these special prefabs only unlock once you meet certain criteria. Once you enter the portal, you will be teleported to what we can only presume to be a more challenging encounter than its regular dungeon counterpart.
Another special prefab the developers have teased are the inclusions of mineshafts, and each zone generates its own unique style. Mineshafts come in all shapes and sizes, and will be a great way for players to further explore Orbis and gather additional loot. While we don't yet know what else will live in or connect to mineshafts, we could speculate that they will have some purpose, like maybe being a place for the portal dungeons to spawn, rather than just being a pointless afterthought like another block-based game.
Each zone in Orbis also offers its own specific weather. While only a little bit of information has been released regarding the climates of each zone, the developers showcased a sample of how one of the features, fog, will affect visuals. Regarding this, Hypixel Studios said, "The effects in this video have been drastically turned up in order to best demonstrate their impact. Not every misty winter morning will be quite this misty, but we're really pleased with the effects we're able to achieve with these new features. Of course, modders and content creators will be able to tweak weather and fog settings to their heart's content." It's hard to tell exactly the extent that weather will affect players. Are we going to see bone-chilling blizzards? Crop-wilting droughts? Torrential rains and floods? Who knows?
Only time will tell. If you have any comments, then post them down below, and be sure to subscribe to get all the latest news and updates you will ever need right here on Hytale Spotlight.